guys, Liz here for your 9 a.m. floor and core class. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off on our backs and we're going to start engaging our pelvic floor as we normally do. So just breathing through it, just lifting and lowering your pelvic floor, getting our pelvic floor ready for our exercises. Okay, the first exercise we're going to start off with is our single leg tabletop. So we're just going to control and float one leg up, and then we're going to slowly lower it down, and then we're going to do the same on the other leg. Float that leg up and control it back down. And while we're doing this, we're keeping our pelvic floor engaged. We're also keeping the small space between our lower back and the floor, and we're not allowing our hips to rock from side to side. It's a nice controlled movement. So floating one leg and relaxing that leg down. And the same on the other leg. And relaxing that leg back down. So we're going to do another 6 on each side. So that's 1. And float. 2. Nice controlled. Float. Back down. 3. And control that movement. And the other leg. 4. Nice and controlled. 5. And last one on each side. And the other leg. And down. Okay, so we're going to relax our pelvic floor and we're going to take in a deep breath to help relax our pelvic floor, relaxing your muscles. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do our alternating tabletop. So we're going to float one leg up, and then we're going to float the other leg up, and then we're going to bring the first leg down, and then we're going to do the same on the other leg. So again, nice controlled movements, floating one leg up, then floating the other leg up, and then controlling the first leg down and doing the same on the other leg. So we're going to do 8 on each side. So we're going to start with our first and floating the other leg up, controlling that leg down, and the same with the other leg. Number 2. And controlling that leg down and the other leg. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Two more. Number 7. And last one, number 8. Okay, and again, relaxing your pelvic floor, taking in a nice breath. All right, this time we're going to bring our legs into double tabletop, and then we're going to tap 3 times on one leg and then tap 3 times on the other leg and float them back up. So floating both legs into double tabletop. Then on the first leg, we're going to tap 2, 3, float, and the other leg tap 2, 3, float. And the first leg tap 2, 3, float, tap 2, 3, float. Number 3, tap 2, 3, float, tap 2, 3, and float. Number 4, tap 2, 3, float, tap 2, 3, float. Number 5, tap 2, 3, float, tap 2, 3, float. Number 6, tap 2, 3, float, tap 2, 3, float. Number 7, tap 2, 3, float, tap 2, 3, float. Last one on each side, tap 2, 3, float, tap 2, 3, float, and slowly lower each leg down. We're going to take in a nice deep breath again, relax our pelvic floor. Okay, now we're going to move on to our single leg stretch. So what we're going to do on one leg, we're just going to hover our foot over the floor, stretching out our leg nice and long, and then we're going to control it back and bring the legs in line again. We're going to do the same on the other leg, stretching that leg out, just letting it hover over the floor, don't let your foot touch the floor, controlling it back. We're going to keep our pelvic floor engaged during this exercise and keeping our hips nice and stable, not letting them wobble from side to side. And control that leg back. So we're going to start our first one and control it back and let the other leg float above the floor, controlling it back. Number 2, controlling it back, and then the other leg and controlling it back. Number 3, stretching that leg out and bringing it back together, and the other leg out and bringing it back together. Number 4, just hovering your foot over the floor. And the same on the other side. Number 5, number 6, number 7, and last one on each side, number 8, and last one. And bringing your legs back together. Again, taking in a nice deep breath, relaxing your pelvic floor, because relaxing is as important as contracting. All right, so now we're going to come up into our upper crunch. So we're going to bring our arms up above our head. We're going to slowly and controlled bring them around our ears, not letting your ribs flare. So you want to keep nice, good control of your abdominals as you're doing this, keeping them engaged. And then we're going to control it back. And we're going to bring it up towards our knees and bring our head and our shoulders off the floor. And then back down to our starting position. So controlling arms above our head, keeping our abs turned on, our stomach is controlling our ribs, not letting them flare, coming down towards our knees, lifting our head and shoulders up off the floor, and then slowly coming down back into our starting position. Again, bringing those arms overhead, down towards our knees, head and shoulders come up, and controlling that back down. And again, this is our 4th rep. Coming up and controlling that movement down. And again, hands above head. And then back down and lifting and coming back down. Number 6. Controlling that movement. Keeping your ribs nice and soft as your hands come above your head. And one more. And coming back down to the starting position. Okay, we're going to take in a deep breath in here. Okay, our next thing is we're going to come up into our hundreds. So we're going to lift our head and neck up off the floor and our shoulders, just as we did in this exercise, but this time we're going to keep it lifted while we do the exercise. So we're going to bring our legs into double tabletop. So just floating them up. And then we're going to lift our head and shoulders while we're extending our hands down. So we're going to do 10 pulses down, then 10 pulses with our palms facing each other, and then 10 pulses with our arms facing up while our head and shoulders are off the floor. So we'll start. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And slowly lower your head and your legs down for a rest. And we're going to do this until we get to 100 pulses. So we're going to add on an extra 10 on the last 30 reps. So coming up into our double tabletop, head and shoulders come up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And coming back down again, taking in a deep breath. So this time we're going to do our 30 and add on another 10 with our palms facing down at the end to make our 100 pulses. So floating both legs up into double tabletop, head and shoulders come up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And coming back down. Taking in a nice deep breath. Okay. From here, we're going to come up into our dead bugs. So we're going to float both legs into tabletop. Then we're going to bring our arms up. If it's too hard to move each one, then just do one at a time. So arms or legs only. So as one leg comes out, the other arm comes down, and then we control them back together to the starting position. And then the same with the other arm and leg, and then controlling them back together. And again. And bringing that arm and opposite leg out and together. Four more. Three more. Two more. And last one. And bringing your legs and your arms down. Taking a nice deep breath, relaxing your pelvic floor. Okay, now we're going to come into a side lying position. We're going to rest our head on our arm and our other hand down on the floor. We're going to bend our knees so our ankles are in line with our tailbone, and we're going to keep our hips stacked on top of each other. So what we're going to do is straighten the top leg. We're just going to bring it up. We're going to just draw 3 circles clockwise with our toes, and then we're going to slowly lower it down. And again, lifting up, 1, 2, 3, and down. Making sure the movement is at the hip and not at the ankle. Straightening that leg out, 1, 2, 3, and down. And again, 1, 2, 3, and down. Number 3, 1, 2, 3. Number 4, 1, 2, 3. Number 5, 1, 2, 3. Number 6, 1, 2, 3. Number 7, 1, 2, 3. And last one, 1, 2, 3, and together. You need to give yourself a bit of a rub, you can. And then we're going to swap over onto our other side, doing the same exercise. So, knees bent so that our ankles are in line with our tailbone and our hips are nicely stacked on top of each other. Straightening that top leg, bringing it up, and drawing 3 circles clockwise. And then back down. And again, leg up, 1, 2, 3, down. Number 3, 1, 2, 3, down. Number 4, 1, 2, 3, down. Number 5, 1, 2, 3, down. Number 6, 1, 2, 3, down. Number 7, 1, 2, 3, down. Number 8, last one, 1, 2, 3, and back together. Again, give yourselves a bit of a rub if you need to. Now we're going to come up onto all fours. So just keeping our knees hip width apart, our hands shoulder width apart. We're going to come into our cat-cows. So we're going to sink through our middle, bringing our head up. And then we're going to curl our tailbone under as well as our head. And then we're going to sink again through the middle, bring our head and tailbone up. Then we're going to push through the floor and curl our head and tailbone under. And again, coming into the opposite position. And then pushing back up. And again, one more time. Head and tailbone. And then we're going to curl back up. And again, we want to find that neutral position. So we're going to bring one arm and one leg out. And then we're going to control them back together. And then the other arm and leg out. And bringing them back to the starting position. And again, nice controlled movement. You want to keep a nice stable spine, so don't let yourself curl under or tuck up the other way. We want to keep it in a nice neutral spine, nice and controlled as we're doing this. And the other arm and leg. And again, one arm and one leg. And the other arm and the other leg. And again. Three more times on each side. Two more times. And one more time. And coming back into our child's pose. Okay, I'll get everyone to turn onto their backs, and we're just going to go through our pelvic floor exercises. Just in a nice, comfortable position, we're going to start off with 5 maximum pelvic floor lifts. So we're going to start, we're going to lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. Completely relax, taking in a nice deep breath. Now we're going to do 5 quick contractions. So the tempo will be lift, lower, lift, lower. So we're going to start lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, and lower. Completely relax once again, taking a nice deep breath. And now we're going to do 5-second contraction and hold. So we're going to lift. We're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and completely relax. Taking in a nice deep breath here. And now we're going to go back to our 5 quick contractions. So we'll start. So we're going to lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, and lower. And again, a nice deep breath in here. And now we're going to finish off with our 5 strong and slow pelvic floor contractions. So we're going to lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and completely relax. Now coming into a butterfly pose, and we're going to take some deep breaths in here to finish. Okay, so that takes us to the end of our floor and core class. Thank you for everyone who joined me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.